Okay, I've been very, very lucky and I've had some beautiful happy mail. And one of the packages included these Let's Resin metallic powders and the beautiful See No Evil, Hear No Evil, Say No Evil dragons. So let's go play. Hello everyone and welcome to NerdGoblinart. I'm Lula. I was so lucky that Pamela has sent me some happy mail. Now, I showed the happy mail opening on Friday's video. I'm using silver metallic for the first dragon. I'm going to use silver, bronze and antique gold in each dragon. It blows me away that because I'm making a video and you're enjoying watching it, that you want to see me enjoy making more videos. So really, Pamela, thank you so much. I truly appreciate it. I really do. So I've sped up the actual burnishing in of the powders because it does actually take a little more time than I expected. And as I'm going, you can see that I'm reaching over to my Let's Resin mixer and making sure that it has a few spins on it. You know, if you haven't used the Let's Resin mixer, they go for about 40 seconds at a time, but I still, you know, for the amount of resin I've put in 14 fluid ounces, and for that amount I do power it on, I think about 4 times, just to make absolutely sure that it is thoroughly mixed in. So next I'm moving on to the bronze. I've never used these molds before. As you see, they were a lovely gift. So I decided to burnish the powders into them, and I'm also going to be adding the same powders to the resin in separate cups. I'm aware that I'm often, basically, no, not even often, I pretty much all the time use black mica powder, and I just wanted to show that, you know, there is a difference. So yeah, so we're just going to do it that way. And plus, because I'm new to these molds, I just want to make sure. I don't want the resin sitting in that big cup because I'm worried about a possible flash cure. And that is the easiest way I find to clean off that paddle. It just is. I'm using Apex resin from Apex Resin. And there you go. They've recently changed their name. I have a discount code of 15% by using NERDGOBLIN15, so please do take advantage of it. They were recently Just For You Online UK, but now they are simply Apex Resin. You also saw that I used the stirring stick. Now, regardless of using a automatic mixer, please make sure that you use your stirring stick to get around the sides and the bottom, because you don't want to have not well mixed resin, because it might not cure, and resin is so expensive, it really is. So I'm just splitting it into the cups because I want to make absolutely sure that there's going to be no flash curing and the resin has time to debubble. And while I'm doing this, I just want to thank my subscribers and my members. I truly appreciate the likes, the comments, the thumbs up, all that stuff. I really truly appreciate. So thank you. And if you're not a subscriber, please do. It's a click of a button. It doesn't cost you anything and it helps my channel. And there's also a bell down there that you can press, and then you don't miss any of my uploads. So that's really cool too. And if you fancy becoming a member, you can join. You just hit join. It's $3.99 a month and you get a bunch of perks like early access to videos at least once a week and stuff like that. Check it out. I am doing my best as well to make sure the colours are going into all the little parts of the mould. And I do remember to show you. Antique gold. Yeah, within the box set there's I think there's about three, no, I think there's like 2 versions of gold. I can't quite remember, but there we go. So what's great about these molds, and I found it as well with the turtle mold I had recently, that you can see pretty well into the molds as well. So you can kind of see where you might have missed a spot, which, you know, which is pretty cool. You can't do that with a lot of molds, so you can have a look, and as you're going around you can see that I'm moving it around and I spotted a space where I was like, nah, I haven't got enough by there. Doing stuff like this does actually take a little bit longer than you expect. So I hope I hope speeding it up a little bit is good, but I know there's a lot of you that do enjoy seeing the whole process as well. So I'm just trying to make it fair for everyone. I quite like doing it this way. With, you know, parts slightly sped up, and I do slow down in other parts where I think it needs more, you know, you need to show more and more explanation. I have managed to make a little bit of a mess on my table, and just so I don't end up putting my wrists or, you know, my anything through any of the powders, because it can be a pickle to get off things. I am wearing an apron, but I don't want to go. I don't want it going through my, you know, over my sleeves and stuff. So I'm just giving a clean up, and I do pause the video like magic. It's all cleaned up. So going to be adding, as I said, I'm putting the powders directly into the resin as well. And what I did, the silver, the one I've painted silver, is the smallest. It's the one that takes less volume. So I'm starting off with the smallest and working my way to the biggest. And I kind of hope that I've done a good job in separating the resin. Obviously I know how much resin I made up, but I didn't actually check because it would have made sense to check as I was pouring it into the cups. They take between 4.2 fluid ounces and 4.5, depending on this. I think it's like 4.2, 4.3 and 4.5. I can always check, and I'll put that, I can pop it in the description box. Yeah, so we're gonna mix them all up, being careful, as careful as I can be not to make a mess, and to make sure it's completely stirred in. It looks awesome, and you mix it in, and it genuinely looks like melted bronze, melted silver, melted gold. And it was really lovely to see, because I always seem to go straight for the black mica powders. I have occasionally used white for certain pigments and stuff, so I just thought I'll just use the colour that I've brushed on just to see the difference.
Pouring slow like a gentle breeze, Epoxy rivers carry in my dreams. Colors swirl in a liquid stream, a peaceful dance under soft moonbeams. Hands steady, but my heart's so loud. The resin whispers beneath its shroud. Hold my breath as the torchlight glows, chasing flaws where the surface shows. No bubbles, no trouble, I pray tonight. A crystal mirror in the fading light, caught in a moment that feels divine. Just hold together, don't cross the line. Each mold a canvas, a fleeting scene, shadows trapped in the in-between, layers building like a sweet embrace, curing secrets time cannot erase. Patience lingers like a practice song. One wrong step turns the art all wrong. Every pour is a leap of trust. Fingers crossed it won't combust. No bubbles, no trouble, I pray tonight. A crystal mirror in the fading light, caught in a moment that feels divine. Just hold together, don't cross the line.
So I have made sure that when I've poured in the resin that I don't fill it all the way to the top. I pour some in, then make sure that I'm giving a really good little squeeze around where they have ears, they have horns, and like they have the wings and all those. Now I have been told by some of my lovely friends that the ears can be delicate, but I only found this out afterwards. I'd already made them when I was talking to them about it. It's good to give them a tap and stuff. Potentially, I personally don't think that putting the resin through the debubbler would have made a difference. The Apex resin, as I've said before, is fantastic with debubbling. The issue with this mold, which it isn't an issue at all, so to speak, but there is so much detail and little places for the bubbles to get stuck. I should have been braver with using the silicone tool and not filling them, and when I was filling them halfway, I probably should have used the silicone tool a bit more and done it in more segments. So these are all cured, and they're looking at the colour on the bottom. They look pretty awesome. Now, I'm not going to lie, I find these really difficult to unmold. It's like their heads are too big. So it was, you know, it was a bit, but by the time I unmold the third one, I think I'm more, I'm more adept with it. I realise and find that the rolling works. Look at that colour. Wow. I'm so impressed. I absolutely love it. Yes, there are horns missing. there are bubbles, but we don't worry about those. I'll show you in a bit. So next we're doing the antique gold one. And I did find, yeah, they get easier, but I really do have to push on my tummy. There's a few molds where I need my tummy to help me. But that gold, my goodness, is so pretty. I'm not really like a gold girl. I'm not. I love silver, but that is so pretty. It's one of the nicest golds I've seen. I've not always been very impressed with gold mica powders, but that one is beautiful. Really, really nice. And now for the bronze. You see here, I was a bit more like, I know how to do this now. So, and always make sure you put your molds back. And the bronze is gorgeous. I really like that. And yes, bit of veneer gone at the top. I didn't actually lose them. They're not in the mold. It's just a case that I have a lot of bubbles. But I know now, I know where the bubbles are, and I want to colour these ones' eyes in. Obviously the sea, you know. It's all magic. Woo! I'm going to show you with the JDiction UV resin. I'm just going to show you that things like missing horns, bits with ears can be fixed. It's not difficult. You just have to be patient and not have daylight ruining your plans. I do need to grab a cup and put it over the little cup, the little silicone cup, to stop the natural light catching the resin, so I'm not wasting any of that UV resin, sorry. So I've just put a tiny little bit on, because don't forget, UV resin needs the light to penetrate for it to be fully cured. So it looks like a lot, but it's not actually a lot. So I'm using my pointed silicone tool here, and what I'm doing is I'm just dabbing into the horn, and first of all filling up basically the little hole that's been left there, so we can build up on it. So I'll use my UV torch just to set things in motion, and I also use my lamp. The torch is just used for me to get the first, to make sure it's in place and it's not going to go flowing anywhere. And then the lamp, good 5 minutes. Make sure it's for 5 minutes, you know. And just like that. And then once this part is cured, I can then dip back in. And I'm not even worried that the torch was right by there then either, because of the colour of it. I want it to start going a little bit gloopy so I can work the UV resin. It's almost like sculpting. You know, you're basically using the UV resin to sculpt. And when you're doing things like horns or toes or anything like that, what you can do is you can tease. I wish I'd got a better shot there to show you, but what I'm doing is I'm teasing the resin upwards so that we get a nice shape of the horn. You know, it's not going to be absolutely perfect. But it serves the purpose if you're not happy with a make. So rather than get cross or upset and, oh, I'm not using it, I don't want to, make it fun. I actually enjoy doing stuff like this. I love deburring things. I find it very relaxing. I should take up whittling, should I? But this is a skill. You should learn. You should learn it. I'm not always very lucky in getting things perfect, and I like some makes the flaws suit them. A few indents here and there. It really does sometimes suit the model. But I wasn't happy with the lack of horns. So I've built a horn, and it is that simple. I'm not going to show you doing all of them, but look at that. He did not have a horn, and now he does. The gold one was actually the only one that was missing both the tips of his horns. The other ones only missed one. And there's like the ridge parts along the nose. They were more, not along the nose, but just by there. It was more noticeable. I'm only showing you, I think I'm only showing you the horn and this part. And then I do turn off because we would be here for ages. Literally, I was here for about 2.5 hours getting all the little bits and pieces on all 3 of these dragons to the point I was happy. Now, it's nothing to do with the resin, not really, and it's nothing to do with the mold. It is what it is, and it was my first time molding them as well. And generally, when I do pause for the first time, for a first time in a new mold, I do end up with quite a few bubbles. But doing it, you work out, you figure out where the problem areas are going to be. So I wasn't gutted, I wasn't sad, I was just happy just to potter, really. I'll often do a pour, and I'll often get them done in one day. And then I'll spend an afternoon or an evening pottering, as I call it, and just doing stuff like this. And I quite enjoy it. And I'm very proud of these dragons, and I'm going to keep these ones. I'm really pleased with them. And I think they're really cute. Those little faces. So this one, because of the angle, it was a little bit more, I wouldn't say complicated, just awkward. It was just a little bit awkward, but you can see me there using my finger, my little finger, to prop him into the position I needed him in, so I could use my torch in my left hand, so I was able to tease the resin with my right hand. But it is that, I'm not going to say easily done, but it isn't difficult either. Okay, so all 3 of these dragons now have horns, they have their ears, and they had a few little bubbles in their tails, and that is all fixed and sorted. As I say, the bronze and gold ones, no, the bronze and silver ones had only one tip of their horn missing. The gold one had both, but now they all have horns, and I'm really happy. So I want to give these guys some eyes. Now, I did deliberate for a little while. I wasn't sure whether to give the bronze dragon gold eyes and the gold dragon bronze eyes and all that, and then in the end I thought I'll just use my black Posca pen and give them black eyes and a lovely highlight. So I got two black Posca pens out. This is the smaller nib and then this is the larger nib. So I have control in the corners, so I'm making less potential mess. There's less cleanup for me to do afterwards. And then I am going to be sealing them in with UV resin.
Thin hands of clay, sculpting stars from mud. In a cave of wonders, paints with love and blood. Crafts of canvas dreams, brushes dipped in gold. A goblin soul creating tales untold. Fantasy and fingertips, whispered ancient spells. Paints the moonlight's glow, where his magic dwells. Eyes of emerald fire, sees the unseen scenes. Strokes of inspiration in gentle midnight gleams. Goblin takes so high on the twilight skies. Colors of the earth in his hands they fly. Leaving one so wild in the dark he'd sigh. Goblin drinks so deep till the morning's high. In his little grotto, stories come alive. Sounds of silent echoes, memories survive. Mystic worlds unfurl beyond the mortal mind. Goblin's heart full of art, beauty so defined. A creature of the night with a soul so bright, creates enchanted realms away from sight. Fantasy and fright, all within his might. In the goblin's hands, darkness turns to light. Goblin dreams so high on the twilight skies. Colors of the earth in his hands they fly. Leaving one so wild in the dark he'd sigh. Goblin dreams so deep till the morning's high. Goblin dreams so high under twilight skies. Colors of the earth in his hands they fly. Weaving one so wild in the dark he'd sigh. Goblin dreams so deep till the morning's high. Goblin dreams so high under twilight skies. Colors of the earth in his hands they fly. Weaving one so wild in the dark he'd sigh. Goblin dreams so deep till the morning's high.
So as you could see, I used a white Posca pen to create the reflection in the eyes, and now just using the JDiction UV resin. You can do it by the way I am now, where I just popped it straight onto the eye, or you could put a little bit onto your silicone mat and use the silicone tool to transfer. It's completely up to you. It's whatever you find easier. I am being very careful as well not to try and have too much, and if there is, see there that I put a little bit too much on, so I'm just removing it with the silicone tool so that it doesn't look like, you know, they're too bulgy or that he's crying. We don't want them to look like they're crying, but I think doing the seal with the UV resin really finishes them off, and it means, you know, that the colour's not going to go anywhere. Yeah, you know, they are acrylic based pens, but you know, if you have a little kid who likes touching them or anything like that, they will eventually start coming away. Just using that to make sure that it's set and it's lovely. So this one now, I'm just gonna do the exact same thing just to make sure that those eyes are lovely and glossy. So here they are, all finished, and I think they're absolutely beautiful. I'm looking forward to revisiting them as well, to see if I can at least get full horns on them. Thank you so much, Pamela, for sending me this happy mail. I really truly appreciate it. They're just wonderful, and I really enjoyed myself, and that's the important thing, isn't it? So I hope you enjoyed watching. Love you, and stay weird.
In a room full of colors and swirls, Nerd Goblin art draws a magic world, with foxes that prance and badgers that dance, a whirlwind of dreams with a single glance. Gerald the alligator grins so wide, in enchanted waters he loves to hide. Dragons breathe wonder with flames so bright, each creature born from a magic night. Nerd Goblin paints life in every brush, animals frolic in a vibrant rush. From canvases to tales they leap, in a realm where fantasy meets deep. The studio's alive with swirls